Let's talk about fundraising. It's what most people want to talk about. The ability to raise capital, to be able to convince someone to trust you with their money. Yeah. Now, I work with quite a lot of ultra-high net worths. We do a lot of private placements for projects, and we work closely with both them, with their teams. And I'm often asked, how do you convince these people? How do you get them on board to be able to commit money to a project? Now, there's really two elements to this. One is creativity, and the other is an attitude towards risk. Yeah. Now, what most people try and do when they're trying to put together a deal is the first thing they're doing is not getting the structure right. They're not spending enough time. Again, we talked about this idea of Einstein, about this quote about if you have an hour to solve a problem, spend 55 minutes on the solution, on the problem, and 5 minutes on the solution. Yeah. Now, what we're talking about when we want to fix problems or address structures, we're trying to set it up for the maximum success. You have to assume, and this is something that a lot of people don't do, most people are assuming that their investor is not very smart. And frankly, most of them are extremely smart. There's this old adage that fools and their money are soon apart. So if they've got it, it's probably for a reason. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to focus on, number one, having a competent structure behind what it is that you're doing. The second is risk. I have never in my life seen a bad set of projections. I've never seen a business plan that said, oh, by the way, in year one, it's going to be terrible. In year two, it's going to be even more terrible. In year three, we're going to go through a period where we're almost going to go bust. And then maybe in year four, things are going to work out. You don't see that, do you? You just see, oh, well, it's going to go great here and then go greater. And then it's almost like this linear line or this curve that suggests this massive amount of growth that's going to happen. And investors know that that's the only thing they're ever going to see. So where does their attention go? Their attention goes on how do you mitigate risk? Yeah? It's not a problem to have risk. Anyone who's made any money in this world, they know that the attitude that they have to have is an attitude towards being able to control risk. You can't control all risk, but it needs to be addressed. So when we want to go out and we want to raise capital and we want to ask people for their money, to trust us with their money, we can use a framework, which we've discussed before. But what we can also do is we can get onto this idea of actually addressing those risks and actually talking them through and saying, this is how we've suggested strategies to make these risks very proficient. People aren't putting themselves in the shoes of their investor, thinking what it would be like to actually have that money and have to be able to take it away, to give it to someone else.